another recipe of mine. So today I will be sharing with you guys how I prepare some pinto beans or Peruvian beans. I like using the Peruvian beans just because they are softer and they are a bit faster to cook as well, and they're just more creamier. I don't know for you guys what your favorite beans are, but I like the Peruvian beans. So for this recipe I'll be using my olla, which is a pretty good size, and I did cure it, so I'm going to be posting a short video on this, how me and the husband cured the olla. So first thing is I'm gonna pour half ways of this olla of water, because we do want it to start kind of cooking in the stove. Water into our olla. Now we're just gonna let it cook up until it starts to kind of bubble up. That's when it's ready and for the beans to be guys. So I'm gonna wash these beans really good, and this is why I like to use the Peruvian beans, just because they are more cleaner and easier to wash off. It doesn't take too much. So I'm just gonna wash them off, and I usually wash it with warm water or hot water. So as you can see, the water is a little bit cloudy, and once that water is not cloudy no more, then they are fine to be removed from the water. So I washed these off about 4 to 5 times, and as you can see, the water is clear, so that means that they are done and ready. And I'm just going to set them aside while my water is still boiling into my olla. Okay guys, so the water is boiling, and it's been boiling for about 20 minutes or so. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour our beans into our olla. So first I'm going to put it into this container, just because the olla is not as wide. So we pour it in there. So I did about 4 cups of the beans. And water wise is just by measuring, as long as it covers up your beans and a little bit more, that's perfectly fine. Because once you start cooking the beans, the water starts to consume. So basically you just need to repeatedly just checking on your beans just to make sure the water is not consuming, because if you let them consume all the way, then your beans will burn. So now at this point we are just going to cover them up and let it cook, and I have it kind of like in a medium-high heat. We just got to keep an eye on these beans and not let the water consume all the way. If you see the water consuming, you can always add a little bit more water to your pot. Okay guys, so I did add a little bit more water in there. So now that it's ready to put in your salt. So for the salt measurements, I really don't measure for salt, but I'm just gonna get a spoon. Okay, I'm adding about 1 tablespoon of salt. And as always, you can always check when it's already kind of cooking up. You can always check for flavor. You really don't want to go over the salt. You don't want them salty. Okay, so they are cooking in there. So I have been checking them. So every time the water kind of gets low, I add more water, because you want your beans to be fully cooked. They still have about 1 more hour to go. So in total it's about 3 hours with 25 minutes or 30 minutes. And I'm just going to cover them up. Okay guys, so I'm going to add a little bit of onion to our beans, and this is just to give it a really nice flavor to the beans as well. I'm just doing about 2 big slices like this, and of course we can't forget the jalapeno. So I'm just going to add the jalapeno. I'm going to add, take off the seeds, of course. We don't want the seeds in there. Okay, so I'm just going to add the jalapenos and not the seeds. Just like that. Okay guys, so I'm going to add my onion. And our jalapenos, and I'm going to add about 3 garlic cloves in there as well. 3 garlic cloves. So we have 3 garlic cloves. just drop it in there. Mix everything really well. Our beans are cooking up. They're looking pretty good, guys. So now I'm just going to add a little bit more water in there because I don't want it to dry up. And I'm just going to cover it up and give it about 30 more minutes. Okay, so my beans are cooking. Now I'm going to start marinating my ranchera de res, which is the beef flat meat. The one that I usually use for carne asada, but it's not marinated. I'm going to marinate it myself. So I'm going to share with you guys how I like to marinate my meat. Very simple ingredients, guys, and it's going to come out so tender and juicy and so good. As long as you marinate it for about 30 to an hour. For me, since I have time, I'm going to leave it in there for an hour. Guys, I'm going to add the steak and meat seasoning. I like using this one. It has a really good flavor to your meat or your steaks. So I'm just going to drizzle all over your meat. We do want to get every part of the meat, back and front. And next I'm going to add some onion powder. For this I'm just going to add a little bit, not too much. And the next will be our garlic powder as well. And same thing, I'm just going to add a little bit of garlic powder. Next is going to be our perejil, which is parsley flakes. So I'm adding parsley flakes. Paprika, and this is just for color, guys. Next I'm adding about 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. Next I will be adding our cilantro. You could chop it up if you want. And next I will be adding our purple onion or red onion, whichever way you know it for, and a little bit of the white onion as well. Next is going to be a squeeze of half of a lime. Next is our orange. So we're going to squeeze half of an orange into our meat. The orange and the lemon together, it makes it really juicy and tender, guys. And it's okay to leave a little bit of the orange peels in there. Just squeezing out all the juice that you can. And now we're going to mix everything together. I'm just going to mix everything together, guys. Everything. So you can get all these flavors. Like I said, you could leave it in here for about an hour or 30 minutes. As long as you let it marinate pretty good timing, your meat is going to come out juicy and tender. And this, I will be grilling it in the grill. You could always do it on the stovetop as well. So now I'm just going to cover this up really good. So now I'm just going to cover with aluminum foil. And we're going to set this in the fridge for about 30 to an hour. Me, personally, I'm going to leave it for an hour. So, well, guys, now I'm just checking up on my beans. And these beans are actually done. See? They are done. Now I'm going to check for flavor, since I did add about 1 full tablespoon of salt. I'm just going to check for flavor. They're pretty hot. They are perfect, guys. I don't want them too salty, so that's perfect for me. 1 full tablespoon of salt. And you can see the okay, guys, you can see the jalapeno is still in there. I'm gonna leave it in there. I'm not taking this out. And our onion as well. Okay, guys, so these are done. Now I'm just going to turn off the heat. And I do have my meat marinating. So if you are still watching, please hit that subscribe button. If you are not subscribed, I would truly appreciate that. And give this video a big thumbs up. And share and comment down below as well. So I can keep sharing with you guys more and easy, delicious Mexican and more recipes. So I added a little bit of chicken to the grill as well. And I chopped up some bell peppers. Okay guys, this is how my marinating came out. Now we're just going to put it in the grill so we can start cooking it. Okay guys, so this is how the meat is going. So we're just going to cook it until it's fully cooked, guys. And chicken is cooking good as well. I didn't put the chicken in as a recipe, but I'm just adding it to my video. Okay guys, so our meat and chicken is practically done. So I'm just going to transfer this into a container to start prepping our plate. Okay guys, so it's done. Now we are going to start preparing our plate. So I have my meat. Now I'm going to add some rice and beans. So I made some refried beans. And I do have a recipe on that as well in my link, how I prepared refried beans. Next, I'm going to add some rice. And of course, we did our guacamole. So here's the guacamole. And there you have it, guys. Just a whole meal with your refried beans and your Mexican rice and your meat and a avocado. And you can add, of course, your favorite homemade salsa. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick recipe on how I marinated my meat and how I prepare my beans. If you are new to my channel, welcome to my channel. I love to share Mexican recipes and more, which means I like to share all kinds of recipes. I do have links for my social media as well. And if you do want to support me or help me out, I do leave other links as Cash App. And I do have Instagram as well. I do daily posts on there. Just short clips of So with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. And I'll be seeing you on the next one.